I'm MrCreepy.
It's showtime. And guess who's back again?
And this is my tournament strategy. Prepare, play hard, scratch, claw, and fight to win every poker tournament. And when that doesn't work, root for your friends as if it'll change your life, because it'll certainly change theirs. This $300 three-flight tournament is important. Important to some because winning can serve as a springboard to entry into much larger tournaments in the near future. Important to Matt Savage, director of the WPT, because he's testing out a super ante strategy where the big blind pays both the blind and a combined small blind plus big blind ante every orbit. In this tournament, players now pay 3 times the big blind every orbit. These brand new rules add an extra element to keep the game from going stale. This tournament is important to me because your comments can help me learn to grow as a poker vlogger, and hopefully you'll subscribe and follow my journey in the future. Know that in your tourney journey, you'll lose way more times than you cash. And if you don't want your emotions to crash, poker is a lot more fun when you find joy when your friends won, and that joy will pay off in the end. With that said, this is the story of how I lost and how someone else will never forget the next 3 days.
Let's go!
In reviewing my extensive poker notes, at the top of the list is to get physically ready, eat right, and generally take care of myself. I had just spent several hours running deep in a tournament the night before, but fuck it, since spending way too many hours playing way too many tournaments worked out so well for Dan Negreanu in 2023, I figured it'd do the same for me. I scarfed down a healthy breakfast of tiny tacos and a highly sugar-infused instant iced tea, watched the Savannah Bananas take on the party animals for an hour on YouTube, and you should really check them out if you ever get the chance. Got in the car and headed up the road 80 miles to try and change my life. Then this.
It's the first break. I got here about an hour late, so I didn't get as pulverized as I did yesterday. I started with 30,000 chips. I got about 26. Nothing of note. No hands. Didn't play anything. Just hanging in there, waiting for something. Hopefully we'll do good today as we did last time. All right. See you soon.
Not by practice, but rather by results, I've become an expert at chipping down early and putting myself in all in or fold situations. The blinds are 600, 1200 with an 1800 chip ante, making things brutal with my 16 two-stack. I take a stand and make a shove from the small blind with a suited queen jack. And the table chip leader tanks, ponders, and folds better. I get lucky here.
Look who I found on break. It's Nick Colvin. He's in this $300 buy-in. Starting stack 30,000. By comparison, have 26,000 chips. You got like 30, 35? How many?
Yeah, like 160, one something.
So you got a chance. Bag and tag, right?
Yeah, my first hand went all in with the old 6-7. It worked out. I heard that was a good hand.
MrCreepy, Michael Genova. Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. You know, I was at 100,000, but now I'm down to 43, so I'm not feeling too great.
Just a little bit below average. I'm way below average. I'm at 26.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah. Oh, we'll see how things go. All right, see you later.
See you guys final table.
This is Victor Wolfe.
Yep, it is.
Wolfe, where are you from?
Right here in Rockland.
And I'm in seat 1 at his table. I have 25,000 chips, maybe a little bit less. He's got a little bit more. There you go.
Not much more. I'm just really good at bluffing.
Yeah, apparently so. So remember the name in like 4 days when we go to day 2 when he runs through and wins everything. Victor Wolfe, right? Anything you want to say?
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
A few hands post-break. The first with blinds, 1K, 1.5, 2.5. I shove for 19-4 with jacks and get a pity call from a bigger stack with 8s and hold to chip up to just under 45K. Then our friend Nick moves to the table. He built a pot pre-flop and I called with 10s, then called 3K on this flop. When he didn't continue on the turn, I verbally announced 7K, flipped it in and chipped it up. Not pictured, I lost to a short stack for a little over 20K, all in pre-flop when he rivered Broadway. Then Nick and I have a couple tussles. First he raises to 4K and I shove for 32.9 with 7s. Nick busts out a coin flip app and announces he'll call if it's heads. It's heads and he has jack 8. We're off to the races and one for the ages. The NBA means basketball for most people, but for me, right here, right now, it means nothing but air. And right now, I'm a big NBA fan. I chip up to just under 80 and my chances are now more than a chip in a chair. The very next hand, I open under the gun with queens for 50K. 2/3 of my stack. Nick tank calls from the big blind, and we see a 4-7-8 junk flop. He checks as expected. I shove as expected. He calls, and we see he has Jack 9. 2 cards to go, and he's dead to a 10. Nick, airball! No!
One time.
It's about an hour after that happened, and to start things off, that sucked. It'll happen again, and it'll suck then too. I'm about 50 miles away right now in Vacaville, California, at the Nut Tree Plaza. It's like a little kids park and food eatery that my parents used to take me to when I was like 6 years old on the way to Reno. And when I had kids that were younger, that were 6 years old, we'd always stop off here in Vacaville at the Nut Tree Plaza. I'd have them ride little choo-choo trains, that sort of thing. So anyway, somewhat important for me. Here's my story. When I started playing poker, it was 2006, and there were a bunch of people that I played poker with that were significantly younger than me. Well, over the next 5 years, maybe 5, maybe 10 of them won like $50,000 in various events. And all these younger kids, they traveled together. So if Jake wins, you know, he's got a group picture with Jake and all his friends that he won, and everybody's like, and when Greg wins, he's got the same picture. I don't have that. Where I just was in Thunder Valley in Lincoln, they built a new poker room, and they debuted it in late February of 2018. And they had a series similar to the one that I'm playing right now. And the very first event was on February 24th, 2018. And it was a one-day, I think it was a $250,000 guarantee, and I won that tournament. It's the most important day in my poker life, and I ran like a god through the entire tournament. I remember I texted my wife and my brother at the time and said, you know, I'm doing pretty good, because I think I was like top 5 in chips from halfway through the tournament. And they were saying, hey man, it's really excited for you. And I told them, go to this thing, Dan Ross blog online, and they'd follow me. Well, what happened is around 11 or 12, I'd get texts back from my wife and my brother, and they'd say, oh, you know, I'm going to bed. Let me know how you did. I'm really happy for you. And the tournament ended about 2:30 in the morning, and then to get paid and everything, had to wait. So it was like 3 in the morning by the time it was my turn to go to the cage and fill out the paperwork and get paid. So I went to the cage, and there's this guy that I played poker with in cash games for a year or so, and that was Nick. I'm walking towards the cage, and they give you a little card that says what place you have. My card said 1, and Nick, this is the first time there's this poker room, is playing 5-10 or 10-25 cash game, but to me it looks like 100, 200 or something. Everybody's got a mountain of chips, and he kind of looks at me, and when I'm walking, I'm way far away, and I look at him and I think, uh-oh, I don't know if this guy's a cool guy or he's a dick or what. And he looks at me and he goes, like, it's 3 in the morning, why are you here? And I show him my card, and right then he mucks his cards. He stands up, he runs over to me, he's like, hey man, that's really cool, I can't believe it, how'd you win? And he went from being this random guy that might be cool, might be not cool, to like, that guy was there. He's my guy that was there at the most important time of my poker life. And if he's gonna beat me like that, like 5 times, I'm totally cool with it. 6 times, maybe not. The lesson to learn on that one is when something good happens to somebody that you know, root for them until they give you a reason not to, and then move on. I have some other people other friends that are playing different flights in the tournament. Right now, I don't know how anybody's doing. It's going to take me a few days to edit this down, and I'll give you updates on all of them. I'm assuming that Nick is going to make day 2. Victor, who I just met today, I'll track you on him. God damn it, I'm actively rooting for all these people to win. And if you know somebody that's playing poker and struggling, get on their side and root for them. Thanks for taking the time to watch my blog. Thanks for listening to me rant. If you have any comments, it's a small channel. I'll get back to you. Write them down. I will respond. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you next time. Have a good one.